Good evening, it's your man Earl. It is late Friday night, November 16th, day 320 on the calendar. We are getting it in, man. It is interesting. We are close to end of the year, and it is very humbling to be able to sit here and before you through all that we have gone through this year, to be at 320 and still rolling along. And I say that with all the humility and all the this humbleness, because it's not been easy. It has been challenging, especially to at least record the video every day. And then sometimes we are so busy and consumed with our responsibilities, we are not able to upload the video on the same day that we recorded. And so that's why sometimes you have 2 or 3 days where there'll be 4 videos that have all been uploaded on the same day, because we are just busy with used to be a lot of family. Now it's getting back into the momentum of things. And once again, very humbling. This is 21 days back now. We have been working 3 straight weeks, and things are looking very fruitful, positive. And so I'm very thankful for the Most High God for that. So today's 320. I thought about just doing 5 days of imaging or imagery, and then the Most High God kind of got a hold of me today and said, you forgot 2 things. And I was like, what are you talking about? He said, you forgot, first of all, the false image or the deceptive imagery. And then I was like, as soon as he said that, then I said, and the divine image. And so you guys already know what tomorrow is going to be about, the divine image. Okay? So with that being said, we are at day 320, deceptive imaging or false imaging. And I'm going to give you really 4 things that you run into. First of all, I want to say this. I'm very challenged. Now, when I was early in my career, I was, of course, very green, very ignorant of a lot of different things, why people did certain things, why people said certain things. And one of the best phrases that you hear early on in your business is, you got to fake it to make it. And this is where you have people that spend a lot of money on the image of being successful, which is really a false image. And really what you're saying is I am beyond my own experience. I'm beyond my capacity. So you paint this picture. And when you do land clients, when you do land business, you're unable to deliver. You are very immature in handling things. And so I suggest strongly that you just do what you do and do what you do well and grow. And don't try to fake it to make it. Just make it. Make it at the level that you are in, okay? Because you don't want to run into these things when people pull your card, because you will get your card pulled if you are trying to be deceptive in your imagery. So once again, day 320, a couple of different things that happen to you when you put up the false image and you are deceptive. Number 1, you draw to yourself a unhealthy amount of scrutiny, otherwise known as people will begin to, of course, in the social media world, troll you, try to see what's really going on. In the public world, we call that investigating you, seeing if your credibility checks up. I know a lot of people that fake degrees. Hey, you list criminal justice from, Iowa University, and yeah, you went to Iowa. Yeah, you majored in criminal justice, but you never graduated. So when you put those things up, a false image or being deceptive in your resumes and even in your independent business, you draw an unhealthy amount of scrutiny. You draw a tremendous amount of investigation, okay? And that's just the beginning, okay? Number 2, if you are in a situation where you are false flagging. Now, I'm in the food industry and I'm in the construction industry, okay? And so if I land a client to build a house, and I don't have a general contractor's license, or I don't have people who are certified and credible as my subcontractors, the city or the state may issue me what's called a cease and desist, meaning that you no longer can operate because you have put up a false image, you lied, you manipulated the system, And guess what? Now I have lost my credibility, and I have lost a client, and now I am under the scrutiny, once again, investigation of the state. And those things have a tendency to follow you into your career, okay? So be careful, false flagging, being deceptive. You may get a cease and desist order. You may get a stop immediately, close you down, okay? In the food industry, if you're not a certified food handler, they can come in and shut you down. 30 days, 90 days, 6 months. Sometimes it's indefinite if the violations are that bad, okay? Third thing you can get, obviously, you get the first two, is you lose credibility. And if you lose credibility, you lose income. That's a given, okay? Deceptive imaging, false flagging, false imaging, false advertisement always lands you in a particular position of financial loss because the ads and your marketing do not add up to what you can deliver. And you can actually be sued as well, which is a whole different category. But you can be sued for false advertising, deceptive imaging, and okay, you can be sued for that. So just be mindful of that, okay? And then the last thing, which ultimately is the worst, is you lose your credibility and trust of the community, and sometimes the state or sometimes the nation, depending on how big your company is. Okay, you give the image, you give the personality, you give the business world the impression that you cannot be trusted, you are untrustworthy. And guess what? The worst thing is people can feel betrayed, misled, used strictly for the dollar bill. So day 320, deceptive imagery lands you with broken trust of the community, could land you in court to be sued. You could get issued what's called a cease and desist order if it's a state or a national or local law or ordinance that you break because you falsely said that you are credible in an area that you cannot be, or you're not be, or you are not, and they issue you, particularly in construction, food, things of that business nature, service industries, okay? You got to have permits and licenses to do some services, right? And then obviously you draw onto yourself a unhealthy amount of scrutiny. We call that trolling in the social media world. And ultimately you will be investigated by whatever trade commission or agency that governs your industries. It's your man Earl, www.deuceswild22.com, FigTreeGlobal.com, deceptive imagery, false images. God bless you. Day 320, November 16th. Don't do it.